What's up, everyone? Champ Vet's back again for another prediction video and bets and stuff like that for the card this weekend. Edson Barboza versus Lerone Murphy. I'm very excited for this card. Great card. But first off, as always, I'm gonna go ahead and look back on how I did on betting wise on this past card, and it was not good. I did very, very bad betting wise. I got smoked. Ron Betsky killed me. 3.08 units. Oh, that was bad. And betting the Spain as much as I did, awful bet. I made a bet on Hadley too last minute. Not the best because the line got so close. It's like, I'm going to bet Hadley then. He let me down after round one. It's okay. It is what it is. I thought Tisha won this fight. It's what it is. But I put way more money on over 3.5. So that was nice. I was very sad that the Jose fight got pulled off because that was my biggest bet on the card. I mean, maybe it was a good thing. Maybe Jose would have let me down even more, and that would have hurt very bad. But anyways, Carlos Oberg pulled through. Joaquin Buckley pulled through. So could have been worse, but it was by far my worst betting night for sure. Without a shadow of a doubt, and performance went down a good amount. Everything I did from that Brazil card went down. So it's okay. We're going to go ahead and improve this week. And let's go over share screens with this. I could show you my picks. I thought Aldrich actually could have edged it out, but it was close. I was fine with Veronica Hardy getting the win with rounds, with like the earlier rounds, or she won 2 out of 3. I think it's you can get to that place. I had a bet on this one. Hadley's looking very good early on, but Charles Johnson's able to use his energy, and he was able to go ahead and take back victory and put on volume. And Jake Hadley just had nothing. He just had nothing. Trey Waters, Billy Golf, what a freaking fight! That fight was amazing. I thought Waters would catch him with like a big punch, and man, was he catching him, and Billy Goff was a freaking dog. I thought Trey Waters won. Although there's an argument that Billy Goff won, but I do think Trey Waters was the one who got the victory. I was right on my plus 3.5, which is the one I bet a lot on. So thank God for that. I really thought Tisha won this fight, even like 3-0, like 30-27. I don't know. I'm high on Tisha still. Tabitha, not so much. But yeah. Reba Vix, Terrence McKinney, what a freaking head kick. That many people going in were expecting, it's gonna be all T-Rex early, but then he gasses out. Esteban Reba Vix freaking got ready to go real quick. Freaking well played. Well done. Shout out to Reba Vix. That made me I wasn't expecting that to happen round one. I thought McKinney would wrestle more. Nah. I went Borshev KO. I thought this fight would be close. I wasn't confident. Rightfully so. We're not close, but it's going to be going in. We don't know how it's going to look on the feet. We're assuming Borshev's going to do good on the ground. It's going to be all Chase Super. And man, even on the feet, it was pretty much all Chase Super. That ground threat in round 2, or not the ground threat, but the fact he knocked down Borshev in round 1, it just changed everything, especially on the feet. Slava couldn't throw much. Great performance by Chase Super. He didn't tap, to be honest. He didn't tap. He's a freaking tough son of a gun. But I mean, he was gonna lose. So yeah, shout out Chase Super. Oh, this one hurt a lot. Freaking Waldo. Just replicating what this dude did. Yeah, no, this man had nothing off his back. I thought Waldo would be able, not Waldo. I thought Despain would be able to catch Waldo at one point in the fight. That didn't happen, and because of that, Waldo's able to use his wrestling. He barely even had a top game, to be honest. I feel like guys with better top games finished Despain on the ground easily. But I mean, he got the win. Good for Waldo. Not good for my betting account. It's okay. Woodson versus Caceres. This was another close one. I did think Woodson pulled it out with rounds 1 and 3. With round 3 being the not as clear. It was close. Round 2 went to Bruce Leroy. Round 1 definitely went to Woodson, and I thought he hit the better shots, more clean shots to the head in round 3. Good work by Woodson. This one destroyed me. Ron Betsky for CDF. Man, CDF, fountain of youth. I was so shocked. I thought Ron Betsky would be able to hurt him and run through him. That's not what happened, and he got super gassed. His gassing problems are definitely a thing. I didn't think that would show up in this fight, especially because CDF has been a gasser in the past. He's been like shown the wilt under pressure. But man, shout out. Ron Betsky looked great round one. He knocked him down, but he gassed, and him gassing was really what destroyed him, and it allowed CDF to go ahead and go ham on Ron Betsky. Literally changed his face. So, hey, I was super wrong on that one. I shouldn't have bet as much as I did. It is what it is. Good win for CDF. I'll be back from that one. That one hurt, but it's okay. Oldberg versus Menefield. Holy cow, that was quick. Oldberg is this freaking sniper in this division. And I think this dude's really good. Well done. Oldberg's that dude. I don't have much else to say. Buckley, Ruzaboev. Ruzaboev is not great. Obviously, Joaquin Buckley is one of the highest level competition that Ruzaboev's faced. Going from Cedricus Dumas to Buckley. My goodness, that's such a big step up. Buckley's good, man. I like Buckley, and at welterweight, Ruzaboev going down. Buckley's able to take him down at will and do damage, and he hurt him at one point. So great work by Buckley. And Lewis won by KO in round 3. It's just a Lewis fight. I did end up doing a live bet, but I don't know how to track live bets on MMA.tips. So I don't think it's even fair to do that, since I should do videos and stuff like that and post my picks on betmma.tips beforehand anyways, so people will be able to play that action. But it's okay. Derek Lewis looked pretty freaking good. He tried doing his own takedowns, kept him safe on the ground, and found the shot at round 3 and KO Nascimento. So yeah, all there is to it. Now let's get on to the card this weekend. Lerone Murphy versus Edson Barboza. I'm very excited for this card. We got Emily Ducote versus Vanessa Domopoulos. I'm going with Ducote by decision. I think she's had a rough patch as of late, losing Angela Hill and Lupe Godinez. I mean, they're both pretty good, to be fair, so we can't get too mad at Ducote. But did win against Ashley Yoder, but that doesn't mean much. I actually do like Vanessa Domopoulos. I bet her in all these fights, except for the Carolina one, but I've bet her in like all these spots right here, except for the Silvana Gomez Suarez one. But I've been like a Vanessa Demopoulos fan. And she's been winning like fights that low key she maybe not deserved against the Kanako one. Although low key she did do more damage on her back. But besides the point, I feel like she has been kind of getting away with it. And a girl that is disciplined like Emily Ducote is going to be able to piece her up on the feet and keep her distance. She's going to be bigger, and I think she's going to light her up like that. Maybe not get a finish, because Demopoulos is a monster, the little monster, as her nickname says. But I think Ducote is going to be able to use her feet to work on the feet to beat her. This is a close fight. I'm not super confident. I'm going to go Alatong Ali to win a decision. If there's a finish, it's going to be probably from Clayton Rodriguez early or Alatong Ali late. But I think Alatong Ali's like pretty all right. He's not bad. He's lost to Chris Gutierrez, and I think it was on short notice, if I remember correctly. And Chris Gutierrez is really good. So there's definitely that. And I think Alatong Ali's pretty underrated. I'm not going to be doing anything with this fight, like betting wise. I'm not crazy. Maybe like a little dog shot, but probably not. I want to stay away from this one. I don't like how Clayton Rodriguez has really been looking. I'll be Fareed Basharat though. Okay, you could lose some. That's no big deal. Shannon Ross beating Shannon Ross. Whatever. Lost to CJ Vergara. Although I think he should have won that, to be fair. But still. Up a weight class. I think, well, not up a weight class, because he did just fight Fareed. But I think Alatong Ali is going to be able to take this one. I'm not confident at all. Let's move on. Pierre Rodriguez versus Ariane Carnelosi. I'm surprised at this. I'm gonna go with Carnelosi. I love me some Ariane Carnelosi. The first fight I saw live, like the first ever live fight I've ever seen, was Ariane Carnelosi. against Na Liang, which was right here. Yeah, at UFC 261, the Usman versus Masvidal 2 card. And man, this girl is a ball of muscle. She's coming off of like a long layoff after like I think 2 years. Let's find out. Yeah, over 2 years, and I think she's may have been able to improve herself and get better. And like she's been wanting to come back. My opinion of Pierre Rodriguez used to be so high, and after watching her Contender Series fight, but then since then it's gone so much lower. It's not like these are bad girls. I actually really rate Sam Page and like Sam Hughes. Although I'm gonna be honest, I thought Sam Hughes won this fight. I really do think she won that fight. And Jillian Robertson did whatever the hell she wanted. Jillian Robertson's fantastic, and Kay Hansen. I don't know what you want me to say about that anymore. I like Carnelossi to win here, and I think she's gonna be able to just use that strength to be able to beat Piera. I'm not super confident. I have a little bet on Carnelossi. I'm not going crazy with this one. I don't think anyone should for either side. So yeah, I'm going Carnelossi to win. Next fight up the card, Abus Magomedov versus Warley Alves. I'm going Abus by KO. This is low-key possible. I'm going round one. Abus Magomedov is fighting a guy who might actually have worse cardio than him. So I don't even know what I need to say about that. I think Abus is gonna get a finish real quick here. Either even maybe through a finish through waiting out a round, and it's like now this guy's gas, I can go. So I think they want to get Abus a win, and I think they're gonna do it. Give it to him here against Warley Alves. So I like Abus Magomedov here. I don't really have much to say about it. I like him here. Next up the card, Tamir Vidal versus Melissa Gatto. I'm recording this on Friday after weigh-ins, and I was like, I've been on Gatto, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait for weigh-ins. I'm gonna see just how much bigger Vidal is, because I was expecting her to be like really big. Like Gatto is going up a weight class. She's going up to 135 instead of being at 125. And it's like the big worry for me in Gatto this fight is just how big Vidal is. Gatto might actually be bigger. I'm going Gatto. She might get a sub somewhere in the fight, but man, I was so shocked. I thought Vidal was gonna be like so much bigger. Maybe she is thicker, but like Gatto is freaking huge. 5'5", that's a complete lie. She's literally taller than her. Maybe she had shoes on. I wasn't able to tell. I think Gatto's pretty much got her covered. Is there a chance Vidal gets a KO? Yes. There absolutely is, but Gatto is just flat out better, honestly. Am I looking to bet this fight? Not really. No, not really at all. But I think Gatto really should win this fight. Next fight up the card, Omar Sy versus Tuco Tokos. Very, very short notice for Tukos, and I think because of that, it's gonna be Sy all day. I think he's gonna be able to do good on the feet and maybe even get on top and do damage to get him out of there. I haven't done the most research on this fight, but I've seen his Contender Series fight, which happened, or no, Road to UFC. I'm remembering wrong. Ming Yang Zhang, who's a freaking monster. That dude can take punches for days. But I don't rate Tukos the most. I think he's using this as like, okay, I'm gonna do a UFC a favor and get into the UFC, and then yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen. I think Sy's is much better. Am I really high on Sy? Not really. I'm not gonna be betting this. I think the odds are disgusting. They're not worth betting. I think Sy is gonna win this fight. Next fight up the card, Tom Nolan versus Victor Martinez. I was shocked to see just how much bigger Tom Nolan is. I know the height metrics are like that, but you sometimes can never trust him. Tom Nolan is huge in comparison. By the way, funny, it says Far. When I think of Far, I think of Far Jack Jenkins, but only say that because this is Aussie. Anyway, back on topic. Tom Nolan is going to destroy Victor Martinez, I truly believe. And I think sneakily it's going to be a sub. I think he's going to get a sub round 1, round 2, KO round 1, round 2. I think he's going to be able to finish Victor Martinez, who I just don't think is that good. It looked like he had a tough weight cut, and Nolan towers him. everything's in Tom Nolan's favor. If he loses this one, I don't think I can ever back him in another fight. I think they want Tom Nolan to win. I think they want the younger guy, 24 years of age, against a 32-year-old, a guy who got KO'd by Jordan Levitt with knees and punches. Yeah, I gotta go with Tom Nolan. Next one up the card, we have Angela Overkill Hill versus Luana Pinheiro. Pinheiro. I've been fading this girl for so long, so many times. It worked out finally. It worked out against Amanda Ribas, and I was very happy after scare round 1. But round 3 was very phenomenal for Amanda Ribas. But I don't think this Pinheiro girl is good. I think she's a quitter. I think she gasses. I think she's gotten away with a few, especially that Michelle Waterson fight. Random Marcos disqualification where she's like faking being hurt. I don't like it. I think Angela Hill's gonna break her. Well, maybe break her, but like maybe I don't think she'll finish, but probably a decision for Angela Hill. I think Angela Hill is so much better. I don't care about the age with Angela Hill at this point. I have never seen any sort of difference in Angela Hill's her whole game. So I'm not really taking age into consideration. She looked awful against Mackenzie Dern, which hurt me because I had money on her that fight. But I think besides that, she's been looking pretty good as of late. Beating Lupi, beating Dakota, beating Gomes. I don't think Pinheiro is that great. I really don't. And is Pinheiro alive to finish round 1? Maybe. I think it's possible. Angela Hill is so tough. She's so durable. I think she's going to be able to break Luana Pinheiro as the fight goes on. So yeah, I think she'll probably win a decision. Next fight up the card, Adrian Yanez versus Vinicius Salvador. I'm going Yanez. I think the level of competition is just so much more. I'm going KO round 2. Because usually Yanez takes some time to get into fights. Can he get a KO round 1? Yeah, but he, like I said, he gets into fights later on. It takes a little bit of time. I feel like the last 2 losses have been pretty rough on Yanez. And I think a lot of it, I've heard a lot of people say that it's due to his coach dying, and now he's have to take over, and now we're going to start seeing him do better. And you know what? I kind of agree. With that. And I think a guy like Vinicius Salvador, someone the UFC is giving him to try and get back and do well. Salvador is clearly taller than Yanez when we look at the face-offs, but I think Yanez, skill for skill, he's fighting some of the best bantamweights in the world, while Salvador is losing to CJ Vergara, and Victor Altamirano. It's just not the same level. I think Yanez is going to be able to impose his will on the feet. Next fight up the card, Ramiz Brahimaj versus Themba Gorimbo, the answer. I'm going Themba. I really like Themba. I think he wins a decision. I've been loving just how much he's been growing. He has all the momentum on his side, and I feel like his skills are just getting better. I've always liked this guy. I picked him to win and bet him on against AJ Fletcher. It didn't go my way, but I was I like the things I saw. I think this guy can get better, and maybe he's older. He's 33 years of age, but this guy's not bad at all. He's quite all right actually, and I love his story. But that's nothing to do with me. But I think the story, it gives him motivation. Now, this week, his coach's mother died. This dude has will for days. And you can't teach that sometimes. Brahimaj is someone who gasses. I think because of that, I think Gorimbo, who's so much bigger, I think he's going to do what he wants to Brahimaj, especially as the fight goes on. So I'm taking Themba Gorimbo to go ahead and get victory. And I think the size could on the feet. It feels weird because I always thought Themba didn't have a great game on the feet, but and not that I'm saying Pete Rodriguez KO has changed my mind on that. Oh dude, this guy's a great striker. It's not that like that. I still think he's probably going to be more decisions than KOs kind of thing for Gorimbo, but I think the length here is going to be massive for exchanges on the feet, and I think he can go ahead and jab up Brahimaj and just land and be away. Next fight up the card, Kyle Williams versus Carlston Harris. This is a great fight. Originally, I was on Carlston Harris. I thought Carlston Harris would win this fight. Then I did some tape.
I looked at some tape here for this fight, and I was like, oh my god, an epiphany just hit. Chaos Williams round 1 KO. And you might be asking, Champ Bets, why the hell are you doing that? Why are you picking against Carlston Harris, who clearly has a better, like, a ground game, who has a clear advantage and, like, path to victory? This dude's fight IQ. He decides to throw with dudes on the feet and not do what's beneficial for him to win. And that's going to cost him this time, but I think Chaos Williams is going to knock him out because of it. And I like Chaos Williams on the feet. And I think he's improving. I think he can do good stuff. And I just think Chaos Williams is going to catch him. That's all I can really say. I think Chaos Williams he knows what's going to be coming with the ground game with Carlston Harris. And I think if it's on the feet, it's going to be Chaos Williams all day. Some of the punches I saw Carlston Harris through in like some of these other fights. Goodness gracious. You don't want to be throwing on the feet with Chaos Williams if you're Carlston Harris, in my eyes. If he starts grappling early on, I think that's actually really good for Carlston Harris. But I think Chaos Williams gets it done. And moving up to the main event of the evening. I love Lerone Murphy in this spot. I think it's a finish round 3, sub or KO. I'm saying sub, which I think will surprise some people because Lerone Murphy's never recorded a sub before in like his career. But I'm gonna have going KO. But I think a sub is going to be like live here against Edson. I think it's possible. I love the youth advantage. I love that Lerone Murphy. Let me pull this up. Actually, I can just read it out. The striking differentials between Edson Barboza and Lerone Murphy. Edson Barboza throws 4.18 strikes per minute and absorbs 4.34 strikes per minute. So he's taking more than he ends up landing typically. And Lerone Murphy, on the other hand, strikes landed per minute 3.65, strikes absorbed per minute 2.4. He's always going to be striking. Well, not always, but he's been striking more per minute and not taking much damage. And I love that in this fight. You don't want to be taking these big shots from Barboza, of course. It's not something you want to do. And I love the fight IQ of Murphy, man. I'm not worried about his cardio. I don't think he's going to do what Sodiq did and blow his load early. And I think that I'm going to get back into that Sodiq fight, but he's not going to blow his load early. He's very meticulous. He's a kind of like a Leon Edwards. It feels like a cheap saying, like, oh, guy from the UK fights like Leon Edwards. But that's kind of what he is. Like, he's very calculated in his approach, very smart, doesn't force anything. He doesn't have to. Why should he? I love Lerone Murphy, and this is a big step up in competition, although I think people are underrating Culibao and Santos, especially. I think, like, oh, Santos got knocked out by David Onama, but he was winning that fight against David Onama till he got knocked out by, like, a really good punch by David Onama, who's no slouch of his own. And I think Culibao, who just lost to Danny Silva, I think Culibao's super underrated as well. I think Culibao's really good. And I'm not going to take away, obviously, Edson Barboza has fought the better dudes. He's had the longer career. But there's always changing of the guards going on. In a smaller cage, I do think Lerone Murphy has more of a chance to grapple and less room for Edson Barboza to work at range. I like what I've been hearing from Lerone Murphy in interviews where he's like, you don't have to just pressure Edson Barboza to win. Like, he knows what's going on in this fight. He knows what he has to do to beat Edson Barboza, and I love that for this fight. They're going to Manchester soon. I'm not picking Lerone Murphy because of that. But, like, if he gets a win here, I think he wants to go ahead and turn around for that Manchester card, especially if it doesn't take too much damage. I think Lerone Murphy, he can hit hard himself. We've seen Barboza, like I was saying with the Sodiq fight, we've seen him take so much punishment. He's taken so much punishment in his career. And that Sodiq fight, I think it's a good thing that he was able to survive all that. But yeah, he took all that, but he got hurt bad by Sodiq, and I think Lerone is just dangerous. He's dangerous. I think he can get a finish like mid to late. I think this fight will go a little longer, but I've seen like people go all over. I think he'll go over a round. I think Lerone Murphy is gonna show why he's being like, I'm being slept on. It's my time now. I love Lerone Murphy here. I think he's going to get it done against the fan favorite in Barboza. I think there's one more point about Lerone I'm forgetting. It's his big moment. People are worried this is like 5 rounds. He might gas out. I don't think so. Apex. I mean, I guess it's an Apex main event, so maybe like less pressure on like a main event, like less people in the building. I love Lerone Murphy here, and I think he's gonna win this fight. Yeah, I don't really have much more to add to that. Lerone Murphy's that dude, and I think he's gonna go ahead and win. So, quick little recap. I'm going Emily Ducote to go ahead and outstrike Vanessa Demopoulos on the feet. Alatanga Lee to end up winning probably a pretty close decision. Carnelossi won a decision against Pierre Rodriguez, who I don't think is all that great anymore. I used to think highly of her, not so much. Maybe she'll change my mind after this fight. I think Alves Magomedov gets a finish real quick against Warley Alves. Melissa Gatto, I think, is just better. And after what I've seen at face-offs today, I love Gatto here. Although, I mean, not enough to bet her, but I like Gatto here. Omursai, I think, is going to be able to get a finish early on. I think TKO. Nolan outsizes Victor Martinez. I think he's going to probably finish this fight in the distance. That's what the UFC wants. I think he's going to give it to them. I think Angela Hill is going to be able to outlast Luana Pinheiro around like early on. I think I didn't mention this. Live bet on Angela Hill, I think is going to be very good. I think that's going to be a very good thing to bet on. Although it might, people might be expecting Pinheiro to gas out. So I don't know. Maybe small. I did end up betting on Hill, and I wish I bet a little less because I'm worried because of judges with Angela Hill. I don't want to touch usually, but although she's been winning as of late, to be fair, but I do think Angela Hill is just better. She's just better. Giannis fought the much better competition, and he's still young himself. I think it's going to be time for him to go ham, get right back on track against Vinicius Salvador. Temba Garimbo, I think Temba Garimbo is going to go ahead and use his will, man. I like his wrestling. I think on the feet he's getting better. I think he's just better overall. He got all the momentum coming in. Brahimaj had a long layoff. I forgot to mention that. Super long layoff, so I think that might matter here. I like Temba. I think Carlos Williams is going to catch Carlson Harris with bad fight IQ from Carlson Harris. That's going to get himself caught. And I like Lerone Murphy to go ahead and put it on Edson. I think he can mix it up. He's got great fight IQ. He knows what to do. He knows what he's getting into in the matchup. I love Lerone Murphy in this spot. So yeah, that's this card. I'm very, very excited for this card, and yeah, that's about it for the breakdown. Thank you again for watching this Champ Bets video. If you want to check out the website, it's champbetsmma.com, or you can check me out on betmma.tips. And yeah, that's about it. See you guys again for, I believe the next card is Makhachev versus Poirier, which is very, very exciting. So see you guys then. Let's go.